Now let's talk about balancing the distal and local points, particularly the distal points. In acute cases, the distal points have the effect of removing obstructions from the channel and expelling pathogenic factors, and they are therefore usually needled with reducing method. The local points have the function of supporting the eliminating action of the distal points and focusing it on the desired area. They are usually needled with even method. For example, in treating an acute sprain of the lower back with bilateral pain on the lower back, one might choose bladder 40 as a distal point, needled with reducing method, and bladder 26 as a local point, needled with even method. Sometimes distal points are needled before inserting the local ones. The example of stomach 38 for acute sprain of the shoulder has already been discussed. In chronic cases, distal and local points simply reinforce each other's function. So we have the next table that will list the main distal and local points according to areas. This will list points from different channels, and the choice of which point to use has to be guided by other factors, chiefly proper identification of the channel involved. Let's start with the face. Local point is in tongue. Distal points would be LI4 and stomach 44. For the temple region, the temple area, we have the Taeyang and GB8. Distal points would be TB3, TB5, and GB43. At the occiput, local point would be GB20, bladder 10. Distal points would be SI3 and bladder 65. At the vertex, we have DO20. Distal point would be liver 3. Eye area, bladder 1, stomach 1 would be the local points. Distal points would be LI4, liver 3, heart 5, SI6, TB3. Nose, we have Intang, Yingxiang, Pitong as local points, then lung 7 and LI4 as distal points. For the teeth, stomach 4, stomach 6, stomach 7, distal points would be LI4, stomach 44. For the ear, we have TB17, SI19, GB2, TB21, and Erman, which is an extra point, as local points. Then distal points would be TB2, TB3, TB5, and GB43. Tongue, REN23, local point. Distal points would be P8, heart 5, kidney 6. Throat area, REN22, local point. Distal would be LI4, lung 11, kidney 6. Lungs, local, lung 1, bladder 13, REN 17, and REN 22. Distal, lung 7, lung 5. Heart area, local would be bladder 15, bladder 14, REN 14, and REN 15. Distal points would be P6, heart 7, P5, P4. Stomach area, local point would be bladder 21 and REN 12. Distal would be P6, stomach 36, and spleen 4. Liver, bladder 18, and liver 14 as local points, liver 3, GB34 as distal points. Gallbladder, bladder 19, and GB24 as local points, GB34, Danang Shui, which is an extra point, as distal points. For the intestines, bladder 25 and stomach 25 as local points, stomach 36, spleen 6, stomach 37, stomach 39 as distal points. For bladder, REN 3, bladder 28, REN 2, bladder 32 as local points. And as distal points, we have spleen 6 and bladder 63. Urethra, REN 2 and bladder 34 as local points, liver 5 and bladder 63 as distal points. And finally, the anus, DO1, bladder 54, and GB30 as local points, and bladder 57 and bladder 58 as distal points. As mentioned, the points in the table are from different channels, and their choice is to be further guided by identification of patterns and channel involved. For example, 2 of the distal points indicated for the throat are lung 11 and kidney 6. Lung 11 would be selected in sore throat from acute invasion of wind heat, while kidney 6 would be chosen for a dry throat from yin deficiency. As another example, the distal points indicated in the table for the heart are P4, P5, P6, and heart 7. P4 would be chosen if there were an irregular heartbeat. P5 if phlegm were obstructing the heart, P6 in heart Q deficiency, and heart 7 for heart blood deficiency. Thank you for your attention.